Hello, it's Audrey with Movies and the Bible. I just wanted to come on out of obedience to the Lord and go ahead and retouch on James 3. He kind of wants me to park it there and expand on that a little bit more, and who's teaching you, and and the words in which we are speaking to one another, and I'm just going to touch on a little more about this social media presences of that essentially everyone has now, um, and be mindful of the things in which you're saying to other people. I know here in the Black community, we recently had Kevin Samuels pass away. Whether you liked his message or not, he had an impact and an influence on people in our community. And like my personal opinion, I don't really feel one way or the other. But that doesn't mean that, what he's saying didn't have any merit or truth in it. And that's why I think we have to be careful of how we present information and how we try to, point out people's flaws. Um, and I think the best thing to do is to um, get in touch with your spiritual side of life. If you are spiritually devoid, um, or spiritually lacking in having a relationship with God, um, I think you're going to have a bit of a harder time. I mean, if you're looking at this channel, I'm going to assume that you're wanting some type of relationship with God, and you're wanting to be right and do the right thing. So, with that being said, um, when we are talking about just examining ourselves, the standard should be God's standard. What does God say about being a man? What does God say about being a woman? Because He is the author of us. Nobody has a better outline and a better path for you to follow than Him. Um, which is why I often say a lot of this social media stuff is garbage. It is garbage. And I mean, I know people like who they like and listen to who they listen to because they feel a connection to that person, or something about them resonates with them, and maybe somebody has that type of feeling with me. But ultimately, everything that a person is saying should be cross-examined and scrutinized with biblical truth. Um, and in that regard, with Kevin Samuels, a lot of what he was saying to both men and women um, is right. Is it the truth of all things? No. But holding yourself accountable and having unrealistic expectations out of both men and women is something that you need to sit down and have a real long, hard thought process over. Critical thinking skills over. What are you in a relationship for? I mean, what is your motivation for being with said man or woman? If it's just for companionship, if you're wanting to have a family, what are your reasons for wanting to be in a relationship? I think we're getting into a very dangerous way of life where things just are for the sake of being, and which is why in the Black community we have such a uh, by and large problem of both sides saying that they can't find what they what they're looking for. I'm probably gonna keep keep on with James 3, and spending a lot of time here, and and really diving into that and how we can apply it to our lives. But for this first part of digging into James 3, that's all I wanted to say. Be careful of the people in which you are listening to, and do they measure up to biblical standards of what we should be expecting out of each other and ourselves. And that's all I will. That's all for this one. I will see you in the next one. Bye bye.